Greetings, YouTubers. My name is Brandon Wagner, and this is another WagSwag Productions. Hello. Greetings, YouTubers and fellow history buffs. Today we will be talking about Sybil Ludington, the 16-year-old heroine from the American Revolutionary War. Now, while many of you have at least a rudimentary education on the American Revolution, and we've all heard of Paul Revere, the one who rode at the night to alert the colonists that the British are coming, many have not heard of Sybil Ludington. At only age 16, she rode over twice as far in the night, in the rain, fighting off highwaymen to rally up the colonial militia to tell them that the British are coming. Now, before we get started, please like and subscribe to this channel. You can also find me on BitChute at Zombie Killer of the Week. As you all know, YouTube has been demonetizing and deranking these videos, and it may not be long before this channel is gone forever. Now for some background on Sybil Ludington. Sybil Ludington was born in 1761. She was the eldest of 12 children to Henry Ludington. Henry Ludington was the commander of the militia in Dutchess County, New York. On the night of April 26, 1777, Henry Ludington received a message that the British had entered the town of Danbury in Connecticut, just across the New York state line, and had begun ransacking the town, burning and looting it. It was at this time that the militia under Henry Ludington had to be called up when word spread of the ransacking of Danbury. At the time, there were no other men available to call the militia to arms, and Henry Ludington had to stay put as he was needed to organize the arriving militia once they were given word. This left the problem as to who was going to spread the word. Historians today don't know whether Sybil volunteered or was ordered by her father to rally the troops. But regardless, the story goes that she left her father's home by herself at around 9 p.m. in the pouring rain with the mission to warn and rally the militiamen. Sybil Ludington was to travel 40 miles from her home and ride round trip from Kent to Mohapac and to Stormville before returning home around dawn the next day. At 16, Sybil had to not only avoid British scouts, but also had British loyalists and outlaw highwaymen. Historians tell of Sybil Ludington's using a stick to help her prod her horse and knock on the homes of militiamen that she was rallying to battle. When Sybil finally arrived home in the morning, she found approximately 400 militiamen ready to march out under her father's command. Now, there's been debate surrounding the story of Sybil Ludington. Approximately how much of the story is true and how much is fictitious. One account tells of Sybil being held up by highwaymen, who she fights off with her stick and gets away. There are no reliable sources to back up this story, though. Some historical groups say that there is not enough evidence to show if her historic ride was actually 40 miles, but there is documented history to show that General George Washington himself congratulating Sybil Ludington for her courageous ride to rally the militia. So there is a story surrounding the heroic deed of Sybil Ludington. And a side note to the British raid, the British were successful in destroying and capturing a lot of Continental Army provisions in their raid on the town of Danbury, but were chased off by the militia that was rallied by Sybil Ludington. While a decisive battle was not fought, Sybil Ludington's deeds did help show that the Patriot colonial forces were still a force to be reckoned with. Sybil Ludington was to survive the war and marry at age 23. On October 24th, 1785, Sybil married Edmund Ogden and had a son named Henry. She lived until her death until 1839. Today, one can find the historical markers that trace her route that can be found in eastern Putnam County. In 1961, a statue depicting Sybil Ludington was created by Anna Huntington, which lays along the shores of Lake Lanidia in Carmel, New York. Thank you so much for listening to this story about Sybil Ludington. Please let me know what you think about this story in the comments below. Thank you very much.